Hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time, and one day I'll figure out how to work this thing properly instead of just smushing everything. Hopefully the audio's okay today. Can you hear this? Can you hear the snoring dog? Snoring dog. It's coffee time, and we're reading Daily Mail, so you don't have to. Well, Crazy Kwarteng is out. He's no longer the Chancellor. And Jeremy Hunt is in. Got to be careful. Jeremy Hunt. Could do a Freudian, couldn't I? He's a bit of a Jeremy. Do you remember who Jeremy Hunt is? Jeremy Hunt was the guy that was the first one kicked out of the Conservative Party leadership contest, you know. The one that ended up with Truss winning. He was the first one out with the fewest votes. He's now, probably, other than Truss, the most powerful man in Downing Street. How can you be the most unpopular person and suddenly be... Do you remember the whole of, it seemed like the whole of the summer was dominated by those Tory bastards doing that leadership election? Do you remember that? I got a feeling they were just winding us up. I got a feeling they were just annoying us. They were just doing it deliberately. So yeah, Jeremy Hunt is in. And this morning at 11 o'clock, he basically threw the mini budget on the bonfire. Everything that was announced, was it a fortnight ago, is now gone. The income tax cut, the dividend tax cut, duty-free shopping for foreign tourists cut, IR35 tax rules for self-employed cut, energy bills are going to support's going to be axed after April, and this is them desperately trying to do an about face because Truss's trickle down economics, Trussonomics as they're dubbing it. I'm going to do this again, is an economic system that was favoured in the 80s by the likes of Ronald Reagan, which was proven not to work. And everyone was saying, this ain't going to work. This ain't going to... Even when they wanted Truss to win, I said, no, we want Rishi. But here we are. I wish I could just stop following British politics because it is so depressing, so utterly depressing. None of them are worth our time. Any party, none of them. They've all led us to this point. Every single government has led us to this point, stretching back as far as, 1979, has led us to this point. This is Thatcherism that led us to this point, Major's government led us to this point, Blair's government, Cameron's government. They've all led us here. All of them are responsible. Every single one of them. Sorry. Just get annoyed. Have you seen the price alert pack? Well, the cost of living is really bad. Well, pubs are being forced to hibernate like hedgehogs and squirrels for the winter months. Yes, landlords across the UK are calling last orders as early as 9 p.m. and serving food for 3 hours a day. And some are even using candlelight to avoid skyrocketing costs of electricity and gas. Stella Colthurst, landlady of the White Hart Inn at Hampstead Marshall in Berkshire, will close her pub next week and will not reopen until springtime after her electricity bill jumped threefold to £17,500 in the last quarter alone. This is bonkers. And here is a picture of said pub. So don't go there. Whatever you do, don't book your Christmas dinner at the White Hart Inn, because Mrs. Colthurst won't be there. She's saying to him, that'll be £1,700, please. a pint of beer. That's a joke, you see. It's a joke. The nuts are no longer free. They are no longer complimentary. Meanwhile, David and Ann Palmer, who own the Newcastle Bistro in Coostroke, Somerset, have closed their pub for the winter after their energy bills rose by 400%. I mean, it looks quite nice. It looks quite nice. Down in Somerset. It's quite nice. But again, don't book your Christmas dinner at the Newcastle in Somerset, because you're going to be disappointed. Oh, there's all miserable stories. Okay, let's do the eco zealots again. Is this Just Stop Oil? I don't know, but I heard this on the radio this morning. The Dartford crossing, which straddles Essex into Kent, across the Thames, across the Dartford crossing. The Queen Elizabeth II bridge. Do you remember when that was paid off? Do you remember we paid that off with the tolls, and then they continued with the tolls? That was meant to be free. Do you remember it was going to be free? But anyway, two Just Stop Oil supporters have climbed to the top of the QE2 bridge, and holding everyone to ransom. Here they are. Any sympathy for them has gone out of the window, and they're closing it. Here's a picture of some of the traffic, but I think it's still closed at Dartford. I don't know if they've... just shoot them down. Yeah? Just shoot them down? No? Okay. But at the weekend, protesters sprayed the Aston Martin dealership in London with paint, because it's all Aston Martin's fault, because everyone drives an Aston Martin, don't they? Oh God, mortgage rate. I'm not reading that. Apparently, Liz Truss is branded Prime Minister in name only, with 100 Tories ready to submit no confidence letters. I've heard that she may not last the end of the week. Does that mean we'll have another competition? Does that mean we don't get to vote on who is going to be the new PM again? Can Boris come back? Just bring Boris back. Yeah. Right, here we go. This is Maya Rayner. She's a Reiki guru. And Reiki people, they put their hands on you and feel your energy bumps or something. But her name's Maya Rayner. And back in 2008, because you've got to be a special sort of crazy, right? The 54-year-old started doing Reiki. But that's not what this is about. Reiki's a Japanese healing thing with to do with opening your energy channels. But anyway, here she is. I mean, she doesn't look crazy. She looks fairly normal in that picture, but don't end there, because back in 2008 she was making a curry, and she discovered the outline of an angel in an aubergine. And this kind of goes in line with her Reiki, because she was getting into spiritualism and spiritual beings, and she saw this as a symbol of her Reiki. A Reiki, yeah. And but this isn't news. She said, right, so we've got to cast your mind back to 2008. She said she started, getting obsessed with angels, and she completed her training. Things started to happen after I did the Reiki course. I started looking to angels more, and that's when she found the angel in her aubergine, right? And one Christmas, a friend of hers gave her a little book called An Angel in Your Pocket, and when she finished reading it, she woke up and she could hear a beautiful choir of angels singing. But it must have been a dream, because when she woke up, she went, oh my goodness, what was that? And then after that, she never saw any more angels in vegetables. But, are you ready? She's kept that aubergine. She's kept it in the freezer since 2008. That's the punchline. That is the punchline. It's not a news. That's not a news story, is it? Meanwhile, Bono, you know Bono. He's got his memoir out called Surrender: 40 Songs, One Story. It's out on November the 1st. Do buy it. Maybe I'll include a link to the Amazon so I can make some money out of Bono. But yeah, Bono was speaking to the Times, in the Sunday Times, Cheltenham. Wrong teeth. Sunday Times Cheltenham Literature Festival. It was a mouthful. That's what she said. On Sunday, and the 62-year-old revealed that he's had death threats from the IRA, the American far right as well, because of his pro-peace stance. Nothing about his records, funny enough. Nothing about his death threats over his records and the fact that him and his band were a bunch of tax-dodging hypocrites. Nothing about that. I'm being mean, aren't I? I'm being mean. But yeah, who'd want to threaten Bono? Just everyone when they got that free album on their iPhone and iPods. Do you remember that? During when U2 forced us to listen to their music? Yeah. Court news. Oh, we've got Natalie Louise Robinson. She's a nurse. Let's have a look. What's she been up to? Drink driving. Yeah, drink driving. She drank 4 gins before driving her BMW slowly around a roundabout. But don't worry. She escaped with a caution. Yeah, this happened on October the 25th last year. She drank 4 gins before getting behind the wheel of her BMW. The district nurse from Ingleby in Barwick in North Yorkshire was arrested by police after drivers who were beeping at her alerted them to the BMW driving slowly around a roundabout. I wonder if she kept going around and round. But she was handed an 8-week prison sentence suspended for a year, banned from driving for 2 years when she pled guilty to drink driving, and she had no previous convictions. But she said she was using alcohol as a coping mechanism because she was in an abusive relationship, and also the coronavirus pandemic had given her severe mental stress. So maybe there are mitigating circumstances, but don't drink and drive. Drink and unicycle instead. It's a lot funnier. I don't write any of this, I make it up on the spot. It's true. Here we go. This is health news. Children have the eyes of 50 to 60-year-olds now, and it's sorry, it's affecting kids as young as 6. Yeah, they're developing a midlife eye disease. Yeah, it's described as the feeling is described as similar to how you feel when you chop onions. It's a constant sensation of burning. Sarah Farron, an optometrist and dry eye specialist, says she started seeing primary age children turn up at her practice, Earlham and Christopher in Somerset. Nice advert. And she blames it on the increase in screen time. Yes, because the kiddies have got their face in their iPads and their mobile phones. Now they've got the eyes of 50 to 60-year-olds. What do the 50 and 60-year-olds say? We want them back. We can't read the Daily Mail without them. So there you go. But also, they also reckon that a prevalence of young children using makeup could also be fueling the increase in eye issues. Really? There are so many jokes I could make about that, but I'm not going to. Because, you know. Oh, yeah. Health news again. This is David Sargent. I know David Sargent. I went to school with him. Here he is. And why is he in the news? Don't worry, he hasn't done anything wrong. But he's got a tip. He's got a tip. The ex-butcher claims he's been pulling his own teeth for more than a decade because he can't get an NHS dentist appointment. And I know it's like it's like trying to find hen's teeth. Yes, David Sargent from Leeds says he hasn't found a dentist for 10 or 15 years, even after a GP referral. And so what he does is he uses pliers or his hands to pluck out loose teeth. He says that he has a couple of beers and some ibuprofen, and Bob's your uncle. He says he doesn't feel very good, and at the end of the day I'm having to pull out my own teeth when somebody should be looking after me. And he often ends up with a bloody mouth. So there you go, folks. There you go. Pull your own teeth. Now you'd think the NHS would get wise to this, and they get all the poor people. Because I went private, you see, sold a few guitars, went private because I couldn't get an appointment. Very expensive it was too, but they didn't half fill you full of anaesthetic. It's great, don't feel a thing. But you'd think the NHS would get wise to this and open up, dental training. The trainee dentists. Get all these people in there, operate on them for free. The trainees get to drill a few teeth and pull a few teeth, and you get free treatment. Might be a bit scary. Might be a little bit scary, just a little bit. Are there any other good ones? Really? Just a Ukraine story. We've got Iranian-made kamikaze drones. There we go. Wow. It's all happening there. That's attacked on Kiev this morning. They're using these drones because they can dodge air defences. Probably the worst story is the story of Yuri Kirpitenko. He's a Ukrainian conductor. Here he is. Now he refused to take part in a concert in occupied territory. The concert was intended by the occupiers to demonstrate the so-called improvement of peaceful life in Kherson on October the 1st, and he was meant to appear and he refused, so Russian soldiers shot him. It's just awful, isn't it? So I don't want to cover these miserable stories, isn't it? Meanwhile, conscripts are being chased through the streets of Russia. They're being like press ganged. Look, he wants to get away, and this is in St. Petersburg, and they're dragging him off to war. There you go. Blimey. And they reckon that Putin could deploy another 9,000 Russian troops to Belarus. Really? Medical news. This is from Radiology Case Reports, and this is an interesting one. This is going to show you the picture, but it's not. He's not stuck anything anywhere. This is the story of an Iranian boy. He was born without. He was born with aphalia. It's a very rare condition. It only appears in 1 in 30 million births, and fewer than 100 cases have been documented in medical literature. So this Iranian boy is literally, a case study. And he's born without a penis, and so surgeons want to. Well, I guess I want to construct a vagina for him. But at the moment, they say that his urinary system has been modified. They've had to modify it, so he's got a rectal enema. That's what you saw there in that X-ray image, so you could see how his urinary system developed. And he urinates out of his anus. I mean, yeah, but his mother experienced a normal pregnancy with no complications. So yeah, there you go. It's a very rare condition. But yeah, boys born with aphalia are known as intersex. So yeah, it's a 1 in every 10 to 30 million births. But some experts believe that the cases are underreported due to social stigma. But if everything's working, do they need to do anything? I don't know. So I could just leave him as he is, let him decide, rather than getting involved. But yeah, usually it's people stuffing things into themselves, isn't it? Yeah, we've got something a bit different there from the medical news. Meanwhile, Kanye West's having a bit of problem. He's having problems. He's gone off the rails at the moment. He's been saying all sorts of weird stuff. He's also going to be buying that right-wing social media thing, that Twitter version that Donald Trump uses. I assume he uses it. I don't know. He's going to buy that. So it's obviously a sign that he's having one of his weird phases. But he's going to get sued by George Floyd's family. They're threatening to sue him because Kanye West said that George Floyd died of fentanyl overdose, and that guy's knee wasn't on his neck. And you go, oh, come on. You really think is anyone managing Kanye West? They're letting him run amok because he suffers from bipolar, and he's probably having a manic episode. Yeah, he's going to buy Parler as well, so that can't be good. Oh boy, let's just do the drink drive stories. Maxine Watts, she's an unemployed mother of 3. Here she is. Bit of cleavage there for the dads. Yeah, she was caught drunk driving as well. She failed a breath test after she accidentally crashed in her vehicle into another car whilst taking her children on a shopping trip. Yes, she had 3 children inside the car. But yeah, she was admitted to failing to provide a specimen at Chester Magistrates Court. She was banned from driving for 16 months, fined £120 and made pay £168 in costs and victim surcharge. But yeah, witnesses says they could smell intoxicating liquor on her breath, and she appeared to be slurring her words. And I bet they didn't take the kids away from her. That could have ended really badly. Remember, folks, don't drink and drive. Yeah? Drink and roller skate instead. It's funnier. Who will see a big fish? The heaviest bony fish in the world has been revealed. Shall we see him? He's a sunfish, and he was spotted off the coast of the File Island, which is part of the Azores, in December 2021. But it's still not certain what killed it. So they hoisted it, they pulled it aboard, and again you can get a better idea of his size. Here he is. But he weighed, because talking in past tense, he's a record breaker. He weighed 2.7 tons. The same weight as a rhinoceros. And when you see these things swimming, they're quite amazing. Like, that's what a sunfish looks like when it's swimming around. But yeah, he's the record breaker. There you go, big fish. Gonna need a lot of potatoes for the chips. No? Okay then. Oh dear. Meanwhile, astronomers have observed the brightest flash of light ever seen. I can't even say that because it's got so many noughts. Is that 18 billion? I don't know. I can't. It's too many noughts. This is you read it. Is that 18? Is that billion? Let's say it's billion. I don't know. Could be more. Volts. The experts believe the flash was likely triggered by the formation of a black hole. And they've got a picture of it. I think that's where someone's left their coffee cup, isn't it? It's a stain on the table. But yeah, burst of gamma rays, the most intense form of electromagnetic radiation, was first detected by orbiting telescopes on October the 9th. And its afterglow is still being watched by scientists. And it occurred 2.4 billion light years from Earth. Brendan O'Connor, who works on the Gemini South telescope in Chile, says it's breaking records both in the amount of photons and the energy of the photons that are reaching us. Something this bright, this nearby, is really a once-in-a-century event. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Who knows what's out there, eh? A black hole. I've got any other good ones? The other good ones do. Meanwhile, twitchers, they're bird lovers, have descended on the island of Brea in Cornwall because they are looking at the Blackburnian warbler. Here he is. Look, you don't have to go there. I'll bring it to you. Right. And you go, well, why? Well, here they are. They're all looking at him. Because they reckon he's been blown off course because he's migrating, and it's the first time in a long time since the last one was in 2009. And yeah, it's a rare American bird thought to have been blown off course during migration, and it's only the 4th time that it's been spotted in the UK, and the first time it's been photographed in such details. Yeah. So twitchers from as far away as the Shetland Islands and the Netherlands travelled there to see the young male bird. Here they are, look, here they are on a boat going to see a little bird. But like I said, we don't have to do that, you can just stay here, I'll show him. I'll show him off to you. It's a lot easier, isn't it? A lot easier, absolutely. Now, some people are just too clever. This lady, she can surf whilst wearing heels. Oh yeah, but she's got other talents too. She can even surf whilst doing the hula. Of course she can. That's Cassandra Lee. She only started wake surfing 2 years ago, but the 29-year-old claims she's always looking for the next challenge, and her friends are always suggesting to her that she should do something funny on the board. And yeah, she was. She does it on Stave Lake in Mission, British Columbia, in Canada. Sometimes she can be seen sipping coffee whilst reading the magazine, hitting a tennis ball. I mean, some people just like to show off, don't they? It's good talent though, but completely and utterly again, I wonder if she can be in the record books and the Guinness World Records for this. But there you go. Blimey, that's a talent, isn't it? Shall we end on a... Is there a... I've got a... Well, this is an ending. You want an animal story ending? Well, anyway, a woman was walking along the beach in Queensland, I think it is, in Australia. Yeah, the beach is in Magnetic Island in northern Queensland, and I'm just going to pull up the video. He said, I'm just going to pull it up because there's an advert. There's always an advert. Ping. But anyway, she's walking on this beach and she made a discovery. But I'm going to show you what it is, and then you can have a little guess. We're going to play a little game, right? But we're just going to wait for the advert. There's always an advert when you try and do the videos. So, right, let's see. What do you think it is? I wonder what it could be. Has anyone got any clues? Anyone? Look at it. No? Do you know what that is? Here's a close-up for you, right? So you can think about your guess. No? I wonder what it is. Well, she put it out on TikTok, and yeah, it's a whale penis. Yeah. Wildlife researcher Dr. Vanessa Pirotta, she said, without actually seeing the object up close, you know, got to feel it, got to smell it. She said it's hard to know exactly what the object is without seeing it in the flesh, but they reckon it's a whale penis, humpback whale penis. But she reckons it wasn't bitten off. So there you go. Whale penis. That's a top story, isn't it? Anyone in the chat? G-Man's in. Good day to you. Tommy Maguire's in. Happy Monday. Exactly. Howdy. Bondi says, speaking of animal stories, Steve Wilson's hot dog to the rescue dog. Well, if you follow me on Facebook, I already did that one. So, is it a wow, Willie? We have a winner. Alex Johnston wins. And G-Man, he reckons he guessed it right as well, because you know just where my mind is. The missus is giggling at the moment. Lovely chicken sandwich, by the way. Delicious chicken sandwich. Just the right amount of mayonnaise. So yeah, thanks for playing along. Tomorrow, let's see what guessed the animal part is tomorrow. But yeah, that was coffee time. I think I've done enough damage for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. Ta-ta, and drink it up.